Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Iqbal and I am from class 1F. And now we can learn about psychological of service. Its definition about psychology. We are all born as a social creature. This relation not always linked between one and another. This relation not always satisfactory. Sometimes we get upset, but at some other time we feel happy towards someone else. And human activity is psychometric activity, affective activity, and cognitive activity. And next, psychology as science. A. Objective, B. Experimental, and C. Following parsimony law. D. From specific language and etymology also different from other knowledge. E. Unfinished science. And F. Distinguished method to cope a problem from other science. The importance of learned psychology. A. Helping individual to learn and understand themselves. B. Helping individual to adapt to their living environment. And C. Helping individual to address their very own social problem. And D. Helping individuals to solve recent problem, mostly to make a decision or choice, also to anticipate future problems. And the psychology role in tourism industry. To the employee development, help every tourism person to have surfing characteristic, helping individual to self-motivate themselves in relation to their own professional problem, helping to build self-development, helping individual to have well adaptive, and last to help tourist person to judge and control themselves. And that is the psychology in tourism industry. The chapter 2 definition of service. What is service? Service in the act of handling a task. It is the intangible good that certain industries provide, including the hotel industry. Hotel service, guests and they provide shelter and accommodation. Yeah. And what is service again? The relation with the customer in a business transaction is a relation between the buyer, customer, and the seller, employee. The buyer or customer buy the treatment, courtesy work, and friendship from people who serve them. Thus, need or relate to the consumer satisfaction. Service in hotel industry. In analogy terms, hotel or restaurant always refer to human needs. That is, food to fulfill the level 1 service value and status. Need level 4 atmosphere or ambience. Level 1 to 5. Service business and customer relation. Hospitality is a commodity in the service business. The meaning is hospitality is an important aspect of the service business, especially at hotel and restaurant which directly serve the customer. Yeah. Now the question, who creates the hospitality? And the creates the hospitality is A. Frontliner, people with direct contact with customer. For example, receptionist, doorman, cashier, and many more. Minor people who are mostly behind the screen, not in direct contact with the customer, but their role is to perfect the serve. They are cook, badge, boy, maintenance staff, roomkeeper, cleaner, night watch, order taker, ticketing keeper. Who is the customer? Customer are A. They are the people who need the service, attention, affection, and treatment. B. The people who react quickly and efficiently with their sensitive. And why the consumer come to a particular hotel than another hotel? There are some reasons. For the example list, okay then. The role or behavior in servicing and marketing. It's for example, basic concept or behavior, and that is the definition. And behavior in selling and servicing. And A, politeness, and many more. It's a selling technique, servicing the customer, and handle complaint. The last, the company or the hotel will be in a deep trouble if the employee can't handle guests complaining. A. Can of complaining. 1. Through complaining that arises from servicing process. 2. Ordinary complaint usually come from political or social society in the form of social issues. B. How to deal with complaint. That is for example. And chapter 3, definition of perception. What is self? Perception. Self is psychologically that enables self reflection affect the awareness experience with underpinning a kind of the perfection. And its perfection method, Byrne and Cassin, self perception and social judgment. Self perception have an effect for social perception. There are for interesting attention issue are the resource. A. Self as an information source when understand other perception of similarity. B. Self as a source information when we try to understand other perception of difference and unique. C. Self a standard in evaluating the other people. And D. Self as moral standard. Mistake in self perception. A. Cognitive conservatism. B. Baby effect. C. Favorability bias. D. Self-fulfilling prophecy. E. Negative effect. And it's self-esteem. Okay. Next, social perception. Understanding other. And it's non-verbal communication. And the last, social attribution, understanding the cause attitude. It's for example, and the definition. Uh, Chapter 3 is communication. What is communication? All about. Definition of communication. Communication is a process of generating meaning by sending and receiving verbal and non-verbal symbols or same. Etymologically, communication is to inform or exchange thought, feeling, or ideas by speech, writing, gesture. Daily, we communicate with others and inform them our experience, our thought, our ideas, our feeling, our belief, and our value. There are one-way and two-way of communication. Number one is one-way communication. Number two is two-way communication. Okay, one-way communication is the learner listen or read something but can not respond. The communication is one way toward the learner, not from the learner. Example, listening the speech, watching movie, and reading a book. Number two, two-way communication always include feedback from the receiver to the sender and let the sender know the message has been received accurately. The sender and receiver listening to each other, gather information, and are willing to make change to work together in harmony. The most common mistake that people think is that communication is simple, and is process of sending the message. Interpretation, relationship. Okay, and chapter 5 is speaking. What is speaking is? Speaking is one of the four learned skills: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Aspect of speaking: A. Speaking is face to face. B. Speaking is interactive. C. Speaking happens in real time. Purpose of speaking: 1. Personal, descriptive, narrative reading, and telling story or chronologically sequenced event. Questioning, comparative, comparing to or more object, people, idea, or opinion to make judgment about them. Imaginative, expressing mental image or people, place, event, and object. Predictive, interpretive, persuasive, explanatory, and informative. Element of speaking: body language, voice quality, manner, directness, sincerity, dress and clothing, visual aids, animation, eye contact, emotional, content, energy, strength, self-concept. And its model of speaking. This, for example,